Here we're going to look at identifying whether a number is rational or irrational. So rational, if you remember, means that it's a fraction, but it could also mean that it can be written as a fraction. So how can I tell the difference? Well, even if something's written as a decimal, the way to tell that it can be written as a fraction is if it has a pattern or it does what's called terminates or ends. It doesn't go on forever. So if it does go on forever, that's fine. It just has to have a pattern. Or it can end. Irrational, I like to try to remember, like pi is the most probably famous irrational number. Something about irrational is they go on forever. And then they do that with no pattern. So there's Guinness Book of World Records for memorizing digits of pi. Google it. I think the most recent record I could find when I Googled it was like 100,000 digits. So think about this. A number that goes on forever and has no pattern works well for a memorizing contest because there's not a pattern where if I learn the first 100 numbers, I know them all or something, and it goes on forever. So if somebody remembered 100,000, someone else could try to memorize 200,000, could theoretically never end. So I try to use that to remind myself about what an irrational number looks like. All right, so square root of 49. Another way that things can be irrational, like if I type square root of 22 in my calculator, yeah, my calculator is only going to show me 9 or 10 digits. How do I know that it goes forever? But I can't see a pattern. So square roots that don't work out, but sometimes they'll throw in some square roots that do work out, just so that you get excited, see a square root and say irrational. But be careful, square root of 49 is 7. And so 7 over 1, that's definitely a fraction. So all whole numbers automatically fractions, that's rational. All right, 29.2121212121. It does go on forever, but it has a pattern, right? It's 2, 1 repeating over and over. So pi is irrational. 3 times pi would definitely be irrational. Negative square root of 22. When negative's on the outside, I can't take square root of negative numbers, or at least not when we're talking about real numbers. Square root of 22, so that doesn't work out nicely, so that's irrational also. This one's already written as a fraction, so I don't have to wonder. And so there we had 3 rational numbers and 2 irrational. But irrational is they go on forever and they have no pattern.